Good evening, Free Enterprise fans from around the world. Welcome to twitch.tv/Free Enterprise for tonight's Community Night Race. My name is Verdus Knight. Our restreamer tonight is Beauty and Discovery. Tracking is Rexol, and I'm joined in the booth by the myth. I am Damar. How you doing, Damar?
I'm doing all right. Verdus, how you doing, man?
I am having a wonderful time as we get ready to introduce tonight's community race. So we've got a little break from our tournament preparation flag sets, so we will not be featuring one of the three flag sets for the upcoming tournament tonight. We're going to do a little bit of a break and bring you something, well, let's just say we're going to jump over to something a little bit new.
We're gonna tonight's subject is going to be gut health, as this is being called pro-B-otics.
That's right. So tonight we're just going to get this one out of the way. The wacky flag push B to jump has been turned on. So you are going to see our stupendous runners, Shiru and Just Jbrun. They are going to be jumping over obstacles. They are going to be jumping over story triggers. They are going to be jumping over bosses. Basically anywhere where you can hop along one square to advance your character without having to worry too much about that pesky terrain the developers put in the way. You're going to see them take advantage of that tonight. We are going to be doing 4 out of 5 objectives, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 4 out of 5 objectives. The top 3 are set: forging the legend sword, trading away the pink tail, and unlocking the sewer with the Baron key. We've also got a complete Cave Magnus and turn in the pan. So any 4 out of those 5. So we are on a key item check. To make your life a little bit more interesting, we've widened the key item pool tonight by adding in the summon spots, the moon bosses, and we have turned on that fan favorite flag from the Free Enterprise 5.0.3 Alpha. We've turned on K character, which means that character checks and key item checks are interchangeable. So wherever you would find a character check, you could get a key item, and wherever you would find a key item check, you might find a character. We've put on K risky as well, which means that underground access may only be possible through the moon, although with push B to jump on, yeah, you might see some tricks here.
With this flag set, you can forget you break logic at will. So, hey, you don't have to worry about that logic. Want to jump straight into something like Castle Baron? Go for it. You want to go and do something else early that you normally don't have access to? You absolutely can.
That's right, and that's why it's important that it's unlock the sewer with Baron key, for example. That one you got to go find the Baron key to do. Completing Cave Magnus, you're still going to need the Twin Harp. And we do want you to hunt for key items today, because every time you look in one of those key item spots, but you do not find a key item, you are going to get an experience point bump of 5%. And that's really important because our runners are not going to be able to find sirens tonight. The J item purchasing is off, and we are on the North American drop table. So they're going to start with a couple sirens, but that's probably it. So let's see who we have. We've obviously got Arcane to start. Arcane is a hero tonight, and we'll be getting a key item. Magma key, so the underground access is right away.
And we see that Golbez awaits us.
And a hook with the K care check. So double underground access immediately available. You want to go, which way you want to go doesn't matter. That hook, of course, required to trade away the pink tail. So it is going to be interesting to see what decisions our runners make. A lot of the world is open right now.
Definitely no shortage of options at the beginning here.
All right, so looks like Jbrun is heading over to Toroya. Shiru is going to start checking the watery pass. You'll see the first jumps taken by Shiru there just to dodge some of the terrain and skip over some of the walking around that is necessary. Meanwhile, Jbrun has headed up to get a chocobo. Wow, that is an interesting choice. I'm sure there's some interesting stuff that has been enabled by push B to jump, which I've seen some old VODs with it, but to be frank with you, I am not sure which way this is going to go.
Well, being that the objective is complete Cave Magnus, he will not need the twin harp. So Jabron, I think he's going to be going straight to that key item there. He's going to use push B to jump to bypass the boss.
I think that's probably what's going to happen. So we're seeing some jumping along. Now, Shiru has done a little bit more looting, but Jabron is, well, going right for that objective. And I mean, what's the number one thing you learn when you start to run free enterprise? It's do your objectives.
Yeah, especially when you have something right here, you can get it instantly. That's why they also have the new objective where you get the... Oh, and is that a character we got here?
Looks like Jabron has found a character in the sealed cave, completing Cave Magnus. Don't need to bother with that box or with that boss. So we won't see from his perspective what's going on. Shiru, looting at the basement of Dam Sign, going to go raise the hovercraft. So Jabron is going to run out of Cave Magnus, which, I mean, it's going to take some time, but you've got that objective off the board. So I think it's definitely worthwhile. Something Beauty said to me as we were getting ready is you can hop off the edge of some of the platforms and they'll warp you back a level. But I'm no expert on push B to jump. So Shiru's following a little bit more of a traditional pattern, having checked Watery Pass, gone to Dam Cyan, looks like he's going to go do the hook route next. Or sorry, the Antline Cave next. Jabron's going to check the freebie item in Toroya. Gets the rat tail. Ooh, so that's another key item check immediately available with that hook already on board. That is interesting. And Jabron looks like is heading up Zot. Okay. You can probably jump over boss triggers up here as well. We'll find out in a second. And with 2 characters available, which are now key item checks, that's going to be experienced characters or key items. So pretty good. Wow. Just getting some really interesting routing moves here. It really shows off what that push B to jump can do.
Yes, it opens up so many different options. So if you wanted Divergence tonight, you're definitely going to get it here tonight.
Oh, yes. Jabron running along the tops of the various rooms in the tower while Shiru finds the Magus sisters hanging out down in the Antline Cave. Let's see here. Fair enough. Jabron was able to hop over a boss trigger, gets access to a Porum and a Sid, which will mean that's 2 of our 7 available characters.
And just like that, Jabron has almost a full party.
And then hops over the boss trigger again and says, I'm out of here, folks.
It's funny seeing that because, yes, you are losing out on a key item there, but it may not matter that much.
Taking
and there he goes with that work.
Yeah. Wow. This is just fat. Honestly, I'm just having a great time watching.
If you're one of those people that says, forget the logic, hey, this is for you tonight.
Right, so Shiro's still struggling a little bit with those Magus sisters. Jabron has popped over to Dam Cyan, is going to get that hovercraft on the go. You have to think is probably going to strongly consider checking that rat tail pretty quickly.
I mean, it's there, so it makes sense. So
that's right, yeah. You know, it's not an objective, but it is a key item check. That is worth experience if it's not worth a key item, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, so Zonk bonuses, those are something that really take the sting out of the those dead checks. And I was like, oh, I really don't need that. But then, oh, wait, you get this extra experience boost. So, and it's a good addition to the 5.0.
Oh, and it's the pan. Wow. Okay. We are rocketing along with this seed. There are some. Yeah, that is a heck of a find for Jaybrun, I think, very early on.
That is one step closer right now. That's and we're going to see the jump into the cave without the hook. There we go.
Yep, there we go. No problems. Just heading straight there.
It makes me think of on the ending of Final Fantasy VI. We go, no shortcut. Jump, 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 jump.
Exactly. Shiru getting ready to take on the bosses in what looks like Baron Inn, while Jaybrun is hopping his way through. He finds a sparkle and a red chest, so that'll be a character check, which will be an item, so it's going to be a zonk. Blue chests, when you see it at a character spot, blue chests will have key items, red chests will have regular items. So that'll be another 5% experience bump for Jaybrun. Shiru has healed up and is going to go check Mount Hobbs, it looks like.
That's the sword throw.
Yeah. It's not bad, but looks like Jaybrun is going to jump. There you go. Makes that first floor pretty academic. Jaybrun is going to head on down, and I imagine we'll be jumping over the boss triggers to complete the hook route.
Shiru picks up Sid and is now encountering the Dark Elf.
Now, there is no boss hunt aspect in this particular game. Yeah, you see there, already through Pitfall at 8 minutes, 21 seconds. Pretty good, especially when you have a magma key on hand.
Just a hop and a skip, and you get rid of one of the trickier parts here in an early game situation.
That's a sparkle you don't have to fight. It is a CPU at the top of tower. So there is, gee whiz, just jumping on everything.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know about that one. Wow.
We have truly broken Free Enterprise into something a little bit new and fun, I think. Lord Goober, you are right. This seed has gone to plaid. You got to think Jaybrun's heading right over to strike Yang with a medicinal percussion on Yang with that pan. Shiru has picked up her Sid, and we'll see where she goes next. Yeah.
A little gift coming up for Yang, courtesy of his wife. A little gift of love and CTE.
So interestingly enough, Shiru is running this seed in a very traditional manner, and Jaybrun has really just gone, no, we're going to do it the other way. And so far, Jaybrun being rewarded with his second objective about to be completed, I would think.
It has to be a difference in experience here is what I'm thinking. Because if you're not very familiar with push B to jump, you're not going to know the things that you're capable of doing in it. Just like we saw in the bottom part of the hook route, I'm kind of familiar with PB&J, but I mean, I didn't even know you could do that. So, and meanwhile, Shiru finds D-Mist.
Unfortunately for Shiru, without the D-Mist hunt on, no boss hunt attributes here. That's an advantage that could have been in a slightly different flag set, but Jaybrun is really racing ahead here, I think. Wow. I didn't know you could do that. Jaybrun jumps on the top of the floor beneath him and finds the package. My mind is just going to get blown this seed, folks. This is just... wow.
This is absolute loop cinema here. And I see Dark Imps in the king spot and another sparkle at the queen spot.
Yeah, so with that information in hand, which is useful information for Jaybrun, because the case summon flag is on, which means all 5 summon spots are in play. Jaybrun is still doing still needs multiple key items, even though we'll have 2 objectives in hand once he turns in that pan. Still needs multiple key items in order to get the crystal. So So there is still quite a key item hunt objective here. Shiru picking up her rat tail from the man in the bed in Toroya, jumps into the moat and is on the way out, and we have to think is going to proceed immediately to get her pan as well.
And just a little side note here, I do want to kind of make this a little submission maybe someday, but we need to give those frogs in there some dialogue, maybe something comical, like, you're not supposed to be in here.
Devs, if you are paying attention, Damar has an idea for you. J-Brun has picked up the Luca key, has opened the sealed cave. Now, if this was a objective, defeating the boss is required, but it's not an objective. So for J-Brun, this is just another key item check because he can hop over where the evil wall trigger would occur in the vanilla game. Meanwhile, Shiru taking on King and Queen Eblin, that won't be any problems. Already done. And we'll see the next boss is a Sparkle. So we do have B maybe and B risky on. So we could theoretically be seeing some randomized bosses with limited duplicates up to 2 locations, but there are no safety checks. And that's important because push B to jump breaks things. We got to add some challenge where we can. So not really going to be any safety checks because most of our access is already unleashed through normal logic, but there could be. J-Brun finds another required item in that adamant. Wow. Just everything's lining up for him.
Everything is just, it's God tier routing so far, but yeah, that push B to jump really does render the safety checks irrelevant. So hey, if you know where you gotta jump and skip over everything, it'll work out for you. Oh, Darkness Crystal for Shiru.
That's the first time we've seen Shiru really rewarded for taking this traditional overland route. So we'll see if that's something she chooses to pursue while J-Brun keeps, doing maybe the asymmetrical approach here.
And this is the push B to jump version of the warping out of sealed cave.
Yeah, if this is a flag set that you're like a flag option you really want to explore, take a moment to watch some of the routing J-Brun is doing here. This is someone who's very experienced, clearly has a good idea of where he's going and where jumping is going to be valuable. He's really giving us a clinic of how far you can break the game just with that one little unintended option included. So it's really a joy to watch that sort of thing. Shiru is going down through the underground at the same time J-Brun is coming up, so almost got mirrored access cinematics. J-Brun is going to head to Fabul and do the legendary Fabul single dip, I think. He's equipping up, so he's expecting a fight.
And I will say that you took the words out of my mouth earlier when you said that J-Brun is putting a clinic there, because there's so many things that you can be taking notes here. Push B to jump is something that you want to look into for sure.
They're roughly equal on key item checks. J-Brun will get a little bit ahead when he turns in the pan here, but I think what's really interesting is that this is a seed where there's no guarantee that playing to the oddities of the seed is going to help you. J-Brun's been rewarded for taking that gamble, so I think that's really interesting. Shiru having the Darkness Crystal, also quite good. Ooh, my goodness gracious.
Ooh, that's a forge.
So turning in the pan, we've got the forge ready to rock. So that'll be when J-Brun deems to head back underground. That'll be 3 of the required 4 to get the crystal. And we will be getting the crystal tonight, folks. You are going to see which version of Zeromus has been rolled into this seed.
I think there is a double-edged sword by breaking that logic, though. It is coming at a cost of you are losing out on opportunities to gain power.
That's right. So J-Brun seems to be trying to accumulate as many key item checks as possible before engaging with this, but like at this stage, his characters are still default level. Meanwhile, Shiru only has the 2 characters, but is about to pop a siren and will almost certainly get characters powerful enough to push through anything that needs to be pushed through in that more traditional routing logic. Interesting choice.
I am kind of questioning if this may have been too soon, though.
Yeah, I think thinking she's got the Gungnir Spear, you're not going to get any other sirens. So that, to me, that's the big concern here. You're not going to get any other sirens. Tella is not turned on, so in Fu, so you're almost certainly not going to get the early grinds available on the giant. It's curious, but I guess get power now and accrue the rest of it as the seed goes along. We'll see if it pays off for Shiru. And something to take a note of later if we get a chance to chat with her.
I mean, there always could be Mac Giants as an option in the future, since you do have Can in the party. So,
yeah,
I mean, that may be something being kept in mind. But, I mean, like you said, I mean, you're not really going to have many other sirens you're going to find.
Oh, yeah, and then the Baron Key. So that's go mode for J-Brun, other than needing a route to Zeromus. Wow, I missed that it was Baron Key earlier there. That is...
Oh, man. Like, so all he needs now is just a paint tail, and he's in go mode, and it's not even 20 minutes in. That's impressive.
Oh, doesn't need the pink tail, my friend. Baron Key, it's 4 out of 5. He's got Forge, he's got the Baron Key, and he's probably about to get his Darkness Crystal.
So now all it be is just find the power and go.
Oh, nope. He's going to fade Baron in, so we'll have to see how long that fade lasts. If we don't find the pass on the blue planet somewhere, that could be a really interesting choice to fade. Could just be J-Brun's thinking, do my objectives. We'll see. Meanwhile, Shiru is dealing with D-Lunars. I believe that is in Dwarf Castle. J-Brun is going to Forge, and we do have T playable on. And so anything that's going to show up in the shop here, I don't know if T playable affects S shops, but this is a hero seed, so you're going to get a Cane Lance, something for Cane.
Ooh, that's a good one to get.
That's a big
Dragon Axes. And not even not limited to Kane there. You can put that on Sid if he wants to.
That's right.
And now he has a crystal.
Crystal at 19 minutes for J-Brun. Unfortunately, no way to the moon. Pretty good shop here as well.
That's a really good job.
Zeus Gauntlet, Tech Rings. Probably be coming back to that, to be honest with you, once J-Brun finds enough loot.
Power Shirt, Audio Bow, that's everything you need right there.
That's it. One-stop shop for power. Meanwhile, Shiru has reflected the breath of one of the D-Lunars onto itself, turning it into a nice little frog, and will jump onto the other one in order to take it out. So we'll get through that first Dwarf Castle boss pretty quickly. J-Brun is also taking those sirens early. Now, J-Brun does have more characters in his party, but, oh no. Oh, maybe not. No, backs out of it. Okay, not taking that siren. Never mind.
Curious decision there.
Maybe is worried won't have enough power to take it. Maybe wants to, is going to go check the character. I think that's what this is. So the character check, and Dwarf 2 is the Gauntlet. So we have the Alt Gauntlet on, which means that instead of getting the usual monsters from Fabul region you get a curated selection of monsters appropriate to that area in the vanilla game.
Sure, it's quite the crowd favorite there. Yeah.
Oh yes, this is definitely one of the spots where people like to... Spectators love to see it, and runners really aren't fans. So J-Brun coming back is going to get the red item here. The red item is the character, and then the character check also provides a key item. we know that's going to be the Darkness Crystal. That will put Jabron 100% into go mode at about 22 minutes. Which
It's just mind blowing that it's going so quickly.
that is fast. That is real fast. Gets the Darkness Crystal. And what was the item? I don't remember. Oh, Poison Axe. Not necessary. I think Jabron's covered on the axe front. All right. So Shiru's still getting through those fights. Jabron is all healed up. We'll see where he goes next. I would think to raise the whale, but we'll find out.
Well, going to miss. That's a curious decision there as well.
I wonder if he's looking for a 5th character before he does a grind. Finds a key item. Says, I don't need any more key items. Key items are stinky. They're not useful. I think this is a character.
Like party out.
Yeah. He's going to check Hobbs, I think. Hobbs, if I recall, that's where Shiru got her Sid. So I would expect we're going to see a reset out of this pretty quickly. Now, we do have C Risky on. So this character flag means that you are not guaranteed 4 or 5 individual unique characters on the overworld. So normally we would guarantee you 4 on the overworld, or 5 if Darkness Crystal gates underground access. So there's no guarantee there's going to be a 5th character on the overworld, and it doesn't look like there is, in fact. We think Jabron's pretty well taken that out. Is going to go now to check the Antlion as Shiru works through that last little bit. I don't believe there's a key item down here. So let's see. It's the Magus Sisters, yep.
I do like that little jump that Jabron did from the path into that room. I didn't realize you could do that one as well.
I mean, I don't know how much of this is what Jabron knows and how much is just Jabron jumping. So let's see what I can do. Whew. Shiru is finished up in the Dwarf Castle Crystal Room. And we will see what's around Luca's neck.
It is a white shirt. So she just had it tied around like an ascot or a scarf.
Ascots are very, very fashionable, in my opinion. Yeah, unfortunately, what Shiru really needs to find a pink tail. We know that Sealed Cave's got the goods. We know that Pan's gonna gate Sealed Cave, and we know Pan's gonna gate good portion, both sides of the Adamant, or the Forge. Adamant is in the Sealed Cave, and Sheila has the Legend Sword. We know you can just go do Cave Magnus, and I wonder if Shiru knows that. And Shiru has had the Baron Key for a while and has not opened the sewer. So I'm thinking she's holding on to that. All right, Jabron's going to go do the Mare Room and did hop over both boss spots. You don't have to worry about fighting the Mylon/Mylon Z spots if you can jump. It's his one weakness, jumping.
We'll try to see some shortcuts taken here in the Tower of Babel as well. And there's the pass. Wow.
Jabron once again rewarded. Does not have the levels. Is not ready for Mr. Zeromus, but will fight Dr. Luque. Shiru checking the top of tower is interesting. I wonder what the routing decisions are like here. It is quicker when you can jump over half of the obstacles, but that's an advantage both sides see. Now, Shiru does not know that this is CPU. We knew that, but Shiru did not do the hook route. All right. Really curious to see what Jabron does next.
Yeah,
No hour. So So gold
Definitely
dragon.
a contract deal.
Jabron takes the Mylon Zed from behind. But he came from behind. Shouldn't this be the other way around? You know what? I'm not going to try to figure this stuff out.
The only question here is this even randomized?
Well, this might be one of 2 Mylon Zeds in this particular seed, so we don't know.
And there's the other feature, push me to jump at work right there. You had Sid jumping, you had Form jumping.
Everyone can jump. That's right.
Yep. Just push that B when it turns, you get a little beep, and then you can jump.
Jabron decides, nope, I'm not going to take that other boss. I've got enough. And is going to head on down the Cursed Mountain. Meanwhile, Shiru fighting her way through the CPU. Ooh, starting to get a little low. The hit point pool here is decent. Jabron finds the Star Veil. That's really nice.
Not very much in the way of feeling on Shiru's side, so I almost certainly think this is going to be a one, unfortunately.
Ooh, 1 hit point. I don't think there's any way, even if Shiru takes this out here, that the Mazer isn't going to get her. Yeah, there it is. All right. Jabron looks like is going to go check out. Wow. Open the door, jump over the guards. Jumps over the Baigan spot, which we know is Golbez. So it's a pretty good hop there. Right to the king. Rex did say this was a lot for searching for characters, but let's be honest, that was pretty quick, my friend. And behind the king is Val.
And we are not scared of no Val here with Fish Be to jump, because you don't have to have King. And anybody can do it.
No, Val will not last long, I suspect. Yeah, Lord Goober says the Baigan trigger is off to the left. Excellent. You don't even need to jump over it directly. You bypass it by going through the front door.
I personally prefer to jump off the bridge to the side and go in that little side door, but because it is a little, I think it's a little more fun that way. So I also like to take that fight there. So
Shiru didn't turn in a rat tail, which means she just set up Sheila 1. That feels a little painful knowing what we know. She's going to head down to the Fey March, get her package, and peek those bosses as well, but I can't... Well, D-Imps maybe? Probably not, let's be honest. There's a coffin for one of them right there.
Well, we will see. Meanwhile, Jabron takes down Val. Saw the leaping Sid there. That worked just like as if everybody was King.
Mm-hmm. All right. Checking that basement. Stardust, Ogre-Axe, nothing huge there. Looks like another... Is that another Porum? Was that I think it was Porum.
I believe that was another Porum.
Yeah. Green cape means orange shirt. Orange starts with O, so it's a Porum. That's how I keep it straight. So
That's a good way to remember it.
Yeah. Jabron will get the item check here. It's not particularly important. It probably, I mean, at this stage, if you're Jabron, you probably want to zonk on these key item checks, right? Get that experience bump. Did find another character, an inn, whatever that is. It is a... Is it a Rosa?
Rydia.
Rydia, okay. Jabron's got that elusive 5th character, and I think is going to go pop some sirens.
Yeah, this is exactly what he needs now. To start cracking eggs, get those levels and gear up for the Z fight.
we will see how this goes. Shiru hopping around, did get the Sheila 1 check done. I wonder if she's going to remember she's got that rat tail anytime soon. Yep, is picking up the hovercraft, and I would think is going to go do that now. There it is.
Meanwhile, Javon's getting berserk and on both of his white mages, so that's a good key part there if that's the approach he wishes to take.
All the way up to Virus, so not bad. And the second one, the second Siren, shouldn't take too long to drop this either. Boom. Eggs have been cracked. 4 to 5 levels per character. We're up to Cure 3. Okay, now we see what J-Brun does next. Shiru's got the pan, is going to take the second dip into the Sylph Cave. I wanted to call it the Sealed Cave. There's too many caves in the underground, Damar. Let's start with S. My little brain gets confused.
It looks like Javon's going back into there as well. Is he going to be doing monster in the boxes?
Oh. Well, monster boxes are not in our key item pool, but might still be very valuable. There's going to be good loot in there. We have T Pro on, so Pro treasure means that the more logical gates from the vanilla game the treasure box is behind, the more likely, more good, more valuable the treasure is likely to be. Yeah, it does seem to be checking some of that out.
It could also be with these multipliers that could be looking for extra grinds. Meanwhile, Shiru encounters the inventory boss.
Toughest boss in the game. Yeah, Beauty says decent XP and great loot. That is correct. And I think we are going to see... I think one of the interesting things about this flags is how you get the levels to take the boss. You get good experience point bumps from those zonks, but not great. J-Brun is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. J-Brun is at double XP, so we do still have the 10 key item bonus on for this flag set, still on by default. J-Brun busting out, tried to bust out the life glitch there, but missed, it looks like.
Must have came up a little short on the damage there.
Right. You want to explain the life glitch for anyone who has not encountered it?
Yes, so the way the life mechanic works in here is that it scales off of your vitality multiplier. But since the monsters in the game have a vitality set to 0, 0 times that multiplier still remains 0. So they're revived, but they instantly are defeated again because they have no HP. But you still get the experience for it, so therefore, you're double dipping.
Beauty points out that we know Shiru is also in go mode as well. So we know Shiru has the ability to pick up the adamant rock from behind the sealed cave key. We know Shiru has the ability to grab, or did grab the legend sword, it looks like, so got the second pan check there. And is running off to do Cave Magnus, I would think, at this stage. No. Heading into Zot. Okay. J-Brun's done a little bit of looting, or a little bit of grinding. This is going to heal up a little bit. Ran out of magic points on the Rosa, so that's a little bit of a challenge there. But is going to keep looking for monster boxes and finds the Toad Lady.
Oh, there's the lovely frogs.
Ribbit, 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 as they say.
So Shiru is making her way up.
Yeah.
she will get her party filled out this way as well. So, and there's our little skip again. You gotta talk to your character, and there's oh, that's right. It was a dupe. I'd forgotten about that.
That's right. Unfortunately for Shiru, we'll only get one character out of this. We know there's a Rydia available in the trash can at Baron, which Shiru's had available for quite a while. Anyone really could have done right away because you can jump over the gates. And what was the Rosa? Do you remember? The Rosa was an early. The Rosa was the key item check in the sealed cave. That's where the Rosa was. Aha!
Yes. That's where she was. She was at the Earth Crystal spot.
When you have to put the two pools together in your brain, it does some. And Rex is on it in chat. So big shout out to Rex, folks, who is pushing all the buttons tonight, keeping us honest. Huge shout out to Beauty, who is restreaming, taking the various internet tubes from the three of us and making sure that they show up to you. And of course, Tamara, I hope you're having a good time, because I know I am watching this. Pure insanity.
Him as well. This has been very amusing to watch, to say the least. And by the way, there was a Stardust ride from those frogs.
You know what? Great item. Rydia, she's going to be really happy with that. Shiru takes the boss here and knocks down the antlion. Now, there could still be another antlion in the seed, and that antlion, if it exists, could be on the moon. Meanwhile,
whoa.
Heading.
Oh. Going for the gusto.
Oh, wow. This is going to be interesting. So, folks, J-Brun is heading through the pass spot to the final chamber of the game. I see we have some flags in chat. They're asking about the letter Z, which that's the way you're supposed to pronounce it. It's not Z, it's Zed.
He's big.
You have any thoughts
mean,
on...
He's big, he's mean, he's nasty, and cannot be randomized through normal means. Wait, where's he going now? The Foo Cave.
J-Brun, I think, is something just a little bit. Whoa. Oh my goodness, J-Brun. What are we doing? Folks.
J-Brun, you tease you.
Folks, I don't know what's going on, but that was incredible. Yeah, there are some... It looks like J-Brun was able to break the bounds of the game and convince Free Enterprise to send Kane to the moon by taking the pass, thus avoiding the... And you know what? And I'm just going to be honest with you. Ruining my plan, Damar, to use the time during the lunar whale raise to shout out our great runners and encourage you to visit them, and encourage you to visit our Discord if you are interested in joining Rolling Some Seeds. But yeah, my mind is just a little boggled. So Beauty does point out this is a one-way ticket. J-Brun cannot leave the moon.
No, there's no turning back for him at this point.
I would think does have to go down the whole lunar subterrane to complete the game. Fascinating stuff.
We will definitely have to talk to him about that rug pull he pulled on us, though.
I gotta tell you, Damara, this is the exact right kind of silly I needed in my life right now. Shiru has headed up Mount Ordeals and is going to take on her Dr. Lugay. 2 whacks from a cane. Down goes the good doctor, and probably won't take much for this next incarnation. J-Brun has decided on behemoths for the grind in Cave Bahamut. So does not need those key item checks that are available in the Summon and Moon spots, but does need the experience. So this is going to be interesting. Shiru, we know, can complete 3 of the available 4 objectives, but has to check the sealed cave to get that adamant rock. has to go jump over the various triggers in Cave Magnus, and then has to finally unlock the sewers with the Baron key she's been sitting on for the last 30 minutes. Whew. Yeah,
everything she needs is there. She just got to put it together.
That's right. Shiru's got all the pieces. But like Robsat says in chat, J-Brun clearly practiced this strategy and had a game plan from the second this kicked off and executed on it. And it's, like I said, it's just been a dream to watch. What a fascinating run. This is one I think, like I said, I think if you are interested in Push B to Jump, I think you want to bookmark this one and come back to it later to watch how it goes. Getting the next behemoth. Wow.
Did he turn the, I thought he had turned the encounters off, so does it just mean to keep behemoths on?
Turn them off, turn them back on. So he's turning them off and knows exactly when to turn them back on so it doesn't get an unexpected random encounter. Taking one step. And I think, you know, with the precision that J-Brun showed earlier with jumping around the various triggers in Cave Magnus, it very, very clearly has a high level of knowledge over what tiles do what in multiple spots in the game, and that is supremely cool. Great question, Robsat. Kane has the Gigant Axe. So J-Brun was able to get that the required forge handled at around the 20-minute mark. And yeah, Kane go Burr. He is the powerhouse of powerhouses right now. We did theorize that we would see J-Brun return to the shop at Forge and pick up some power shirts and some Zeus gauntlets, but that's not possible anymore. J-Brun is on the moon.
That is out of the window. A one-way trip, thanks to the pass.
You know, the pass does not guarantee a return trip. It's nowhere. It's not written on it. There is no guarantee. It's one way. So. Great, another behemoth for J-Brun. So, folks, while we're watching Shiru run down through Cave Eblin and J-Brun's taking on another behemoth, just if you are having a great time, you do want to push B to jump, you can check out our website at FF4FE.com. Once you're there, you'll be able to roll a seat if you want. You can read the wiki for all sorts of interesting guides, or you can join our Discord. You can come in with some of the incredible runners and restreamers you're seeing and hearing from tonight. You can learn all about the game. You can join our upcoming tournament, and you can even volunteer for the restream team. We would love to have you join us. We want to get as many of these tournament races restreamed as possible. So we definitely need some volunteers.
J-Brun takes down that third behemoth. Meanwhile, Shiru is raising the well. So she will be able to return from.
Yeah, Shiru, I think, is still feeling the pressure to get those additional key items. We know that the answers, at least one of the answers that she needs, is not on the moon. Pinktail could be, but
But it could also be a matter of knowledge with the flag. I mean, because some people did think that even in Push B to Jump, that completing Cave Magnus also means taking out that boss fight, which we have learned does not.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I learned that it was possible like that, watching J-Brun do it. J-Brun, I don't know if I intentionally left encounters on. I would think not. Note to ask later. Usually we want to get some of the controlled encounters elsewhere on the moon to raise your experience up. But is taking it and is going to push through, it looks like, or at least attempt to push through. Oof.
He has broken logic so many times, like, I think I've given up trying to make sense of anything he's doing right now.
J-Brun has broken logic so many times that my philosophy 200 professor is twisting around wherever he's at in agony, Shiru checks the character check, though, and finds that pink tail, unlocking another goal for her. Right back down to the blue planet is going to trade that pink tail in immediately.
Yeah, she had to be going there to check for a character.
Yeah, Rex, maybe he should have run. Maybe, like I said, I don't know if this was intentional or not. We will probably find out in a second to see if J. Brown immediately turns off random encounters, which looks like he's going to. I think that was more of a challenge accepted thing than a, I guess I need some experience, might as well do it. And then it turned out to be a little bit tougher, because how often do Free Enterprise runners fight the bosses on the lunar overworld? I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. Gonna pick up some ethers. Shiru's going to turn on that pink tail. No Adamant's flag is on, so unfortunately this will not be an Adamant armor, but will be something nice, I suspect.
And it is still an objective, so.
J. Brun just jumps over the pink tail. Boy, oh boy, that's fun. J. Brun's heading to the lunar subterrane. My tongue is twisting upon itself in awe of J. Brun's magnificent feats. It looks like Shiru's going to go pop that sewer as well. Sorry, Shiru's going to pop the sewer. Yeah, there we go.
All she gotta do is find those forge components.
Find the forge components, or go deal with Cave Magnus, and that might be the next thing on our list.
Yeah, that's true. Keep forgetting it's 4 out of 5, and this thing is like, for some reason, those first 2 were required. My bad.
She did open the sewers, right? I didn't miss that.
She did. She did.
Yep. Perfect. Wonderful. She's going to go fight her Val. J. Brown's picking up a few chests, but is heading down.
Oh, bets are off with.
So Rexel predicted a sub 45-minute seed. J. Brun hops over the boss trigger in the White Spear room and gets a power shirt for his trouble. So pretty good jump there. We will see what comes next. Still not quite all the way up on experience here that you would normally see for a Zeromus fight. Lots of ethers. Makes me wonder if he's thinking about a different strategy. Really curious. Oh, there's Cure 4. Okay. Yeah. High 40s. Yeah, this is doable for a runner of J. Brun's skill. Is going to take the fight. Get the Dark Imps. There we go. So that's the second Dark Imps. Remember, B maybe is on, so some bosses may be duplicate. We saw Dark Imps in the basement of the Fey March as well.
Yep, at the key spot.
Right. Shira's going to go get her Rydia in a moment here.
And we got mini imps now.
Ah, that's okay. They're fine. Mini imps never. It's a hit point pool now, really. That's about it. Whew. We have.
Meanwhile, Shiru just heading to Hobbs. This is not seen very often. Is that Hobbs east? I mean, Hobbs west she's going to?
Yeah, it looks like she's thinking about picking up that Rydia, free Rydia summon there. Rexel and Rob sat in chat are discussing where we're going to go with the actual life total from this Dark Imp fight. There are multipliers at play. It is a split XP right now because of the 3 of them. but life glitches have been deployed to enhance the experience, so it's going to be interesting. And this should get Jabrun to the power level he's looking for, I would think, to have a successful Zeromus fight. Oh, and life 2! Life 2 to Dark Imp. Okay. So that brings that brings that Dark Imp back to full hit points, which means, of course, can be killed again and then life glitched again. So, I would think that's intentional with a runner of Jabrun's caliber, but just another thing I want to ask him: the life glitch. That is fascinating.
Yeah, he's got to be farming these imps.
Absolutely, absolutely. There it is again. Yeah, we're farming imps tonight, folks. What a fortuitous find for Jabrun. Just imps that can be brought back multiple times. Very, very little concern.
This could explain why you bought all those ethers.
Shiru has found the tower key somewhere. I don't know where the tower key was. I missed it. Was that the character check, Baron?
I want to say it was.
And has found Shiru's second gauntlet of the seed. Oof.
Ew.
I think this is the worst place to find the gauntlet. Just the worst. You come in expecting one swing to take care of business, and here you are for quite a while. Meanwhile, this is... gets 500,000 experience, gets white, gets the nuke. Probably gonna get there's the other. Everyone's fully powered up and ready to go. The only question is will we see a swag walk? So Jabrun has chosen to lower his battle speed. And why do you think that is, Tamar?
I think he's going to make the run this time, and he's not going to be pulling the rug. So
that's right.
He's going to be making that move.
One of the new flag sets available in Free Enterprise 5.0.3 Alpha is Fast-ROM, Q Fast-ROM. So this corrects slow animations, puts it to the intended speed rather than the emulated speed on your old Super Nintendo. And as a result, the Zeromus fight can get more difficult. I remember the first time I ran into a Zeromus fight on Fast-ROM and how I got absolutely, totally wrecked in a way that I hadn't since basically my first ever time. Not just playing Final Fantasy for Enterprise, playing Final Fantasy 4. So it can be a little bit more of a challenge. Jabrun's a very experienced runner, but even he is saying, you know what, I'm gonna do this once, and I'm gonna do it. Make sure I do it right. So I guess this time, do you want to actually give the Zeromus speech now?
Yes, he's big, he's mean, he's nasty. He cannot be randomized anywhere else. He has a massive HP pool, and so that only gives us one question for tonight. And what would that be?
Well, whose butt are we going to kick? So we got to randomize something on Zeromus, so we can't randomize anything else. We got to randomize the sprite. And there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of sprites drawn from the community, from our artists, from inspiration across the RPG landscape, let's say. And we are going to find out right now which one it is when the crystal gets thrown and the true nature of Zeromus is revealed. All right. Shiru throwing out some J items to clean up a couple things, but over on the right-hand side of your screen, folks, the true colors emerge.
And it is...
It's Pokey.
Pokey. Well, actually it is Porky in the Japanese version.
That's right. So if you're not familiar, Pokey is one of the antagonists of the classic Super Nintendo RPG Earthbound. And we are watching as Jabrun is casting slow on Pokemus. That's going to cause a counter nuke, but it means that it is going to nerf the upcoming Big Bang. And it just, if you watch the speed of the animations, you can really understand why J-Brun slowed down the battle.
So smooth, that animation.
So notice the Big Bang does a lot less damage than normal. This is because when you directly attack Zeromus, he counter nukes. In order to make sure that he doesn't obliterate you with his normally high magic power, the game sets his magic power lower for that counter nuke. If you're able to time it right, that direct attack and the lowering of magic power will still be in effect during the next Big Bang, which means less damage. But it's easy for the first cycle, but after that, you've got to really judge and land it at the exact right time to pull off the nerf. Looks like we got some hybrid strats here. So bouncing spells off of a character with a Star Veil onto Zeromus. This will not trigger counterattacks or counter scripts, while also berserking with the cane and that big stonking Gigantaxe.
Yeah, definitely could very well have them taken down before the second Big Bang comes out.
Yeah, the damage levels are very high here, but no, the second Big Bang is out. Everyone gets through it except the Rydia. The Rydia was where the Star Veil was.
Well, that could set things back a little bit. Well, I do think he's going to be fine here.
So Black Hole, and I mean, when you're watching a normal, like a previous seed, no Q fast ROM, Zeromus fight, seeing the Black Hole already, that feels fast. So we're still working on it here. Black Hole, of course, negates all existing magics, so the Berserk effects are now gone. Sorry, Bersk. It's called Bersk. I don't know why people keep calling it Berserk.
Looks like
Third Big Bang, Rosa and Porum barely make it through.
oh wow. Heal up and just keep swinging. And it looks like you might just be finishing this out with the Berserk strat.
Yeah, I think that's it. Shiru, while this is happening, is taking her second swing at the CPU. This time with a full party.
Oh wow, I just keep seeing how fast that nuke goes.
Yeah, it is a little obscene to see how much Fast ROM cleans up the animations. And kind of like lets you know, like we as runners really used to sort of the lag that the original hardware provided. It's a different world. So we've got Kane had no weapon and now has a weapon again.
Yeah, he had the Giganax on, he had removed it.
Yeah. And you remove it because when you remove items, well, if there was a Berserk glitch, right? Jeez. Brain.
Also retain some of the stats as well. So you get any stat bonuses from weapons, you do get the key point.
That's right. Oh, we got a shake. There's another Big Bang. Wow, that's what, our fifth Big Bang?
Yeah, so it is the fifth one, and they are coming fast.
Two of the characters are paired off now. The offensive potential of all those aggressive spells gone.
Man, this remaining party is capable of... Oh, and there comes the rocks.
All right. So that means Zeromus is about 8,000 or less hit points away from being defeated. Shouldn't take too much more here to go down. Looks like Shiru's taking a reset over on her side. And There's a second rocks, but not enough damage. Direct white cast. Direct white cast.
For
I think that does it.
Yeah, GG or J-Brian. What a hour 1 and 21.
What a seed. What a seed. We'll see in a second here if J-Brun is joining us for an interview. But GG's to J-Brun. Well done. Well done indeed.
That was a run, to say the least.
Shiru's taking her third swing at that CPU. It's tough. That's a tough place for that CPU. Just with the pools there, back row. Oh, it's rough.
Yeah, that's I feel bad for her.
Yeah, and I think this is one where certain, like, J-Brum was very rewarded for going with sort of the unorthodox strategy that maximized, jumping, maximized the push B to jump. Shiru took a very traditional strategy, and as a result, just with the way that things landed, didn't get the same advantage of hitting all those early key items. Now, we know Shiru's been sitting on the ability to get her crystal for a while, but it's hiding. Let's just be honest. The adamant rock's hiding in a really out-of-the-way place, and I don't think she knows she can skip Magnus, like skip the boss at Magnus. So, well, folks, we've just been joined by the winner of tonight's restream, J-Brun. GG's, J-Brun.
Hey, thank you.
I gotta go ahead and start this off by thank you for putting on an absolute push me to jump. But what's the deal with that roll you pulled on us there when you did the pass?
Well, I didn't have anything else to do on the blue planet, so yeah, gonna meme a little bit or a lot, but it's something you can do. So why not?
Yeah, because we were sitting there, we gave the speech out, the flags were out and everything, and the next thing we know, you hopped over.
Yeah, I did a few more levels before I actually went to Z, but yeah.
Yeah, we were prepared to call you extremely bold. Let's put it that way.
If I had access to more start veils, because there's no J items and shops, right? Yeah. So I would have done like 1200 strats, but it wasn't an option, so I gotta do levels instead.
That's right. So when you kicked this seed off, it was pretty clear that your objective was to do as much as possible in terms of key item checks. You were jumping over, you went straight to Cave Magnus, which I think is, a rare time you see that as the opening gambit. So what was your opening philosophy? What was your plan here?
Basically get everything out of the way that was free. And Magnus being an objective was just icing on the cake.
Were you pleased to see how quickly the required key items lined up as you ran through the underground?
I may have uttered some words that are not safe for stream. Getting go mode so early. But yeah, it was like a jet seed, like no other. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, you were set up, I think, by like the 25-minute mark. It was impressive. I think that might even be too hot, like too long.
Like 20 minutes, yeah, like 19, 20 minutes. You were in go mode.
Yeah, that was panic inducing.
once you had everything in hand in terms of key items and checks that you needed to get the crystal, we saw you run around a little bit. You were looking, I assume, for the 5th character.
Yes. Yeah, I wanted to get the what do you call it? The low level bonus. At least on whatever the 2 lowest characters were, whoever that happened to be.
Yeah, get your sling, right?
Yep, exactly.
Once
So
you
it
got to
happened
the
to be
moon,
to Iridia, so it was nice.
yeah, once you got to the moon, were you debating your options for experience, or were you like, okay, the best way to do this right now is Behemoth?
So not having hourglasses, not having sirens, except for the 2 I did on the underground. Basically, you got to do either enemy tiles or trap chests. I wasn't quite ready for like the LST Myabs yet. So Behemoths it was.
The fight you took on the lunar overworld, was that intentional, or did you just forget to turn off?
I forgot to turn the colors off.
Had a good chuckle at that. We were wondering. Rex was sure it was intentional because he would just run away, and I think Jabrun is rising to the challenge of an unorthodox fight.
Yeah, thinking back on it, I should have just ran, but
He was just
it
like,
got
he's
kind of
just over
sketchy.
here. He was just
Yeah,
over
yeah.
here. He's just a memeing away.
Yeah, a surprisingly tough fight, and like I said live, how often do you actually see someone on Free Enterprise take a fight in that location? It just doesn't happen. You're not prepared for that at all.
Yeah, and if it would have been like a grenade fight, that would have been all the better.
Oh, just sure.
A little more meaning, yeah.
When you found the Dark Imps in the White Spear room, what was your feeling? We saw you farming them, bringing them back, and knocking them down several times. So did that alleviate any, were you playing on additional boss / monster box checks for experience before that, and that just sort of took that away, or was that more of a, okay, I got this, let's really ramp up?
Yeah, if it wasn't something that I could either life glitch or gave full experience at that spot, I would have just reset and probably taken a monster box or 2. But yeah, it turned out Dark Imps, you can easily life 2 glitch them and get a whole bunch more experience.
Yeah, I think you walked away with just over 500,000.
Yep.
I'm running out of questions. I have one more, but Damara, do you have anything?
No, I'm not. Other than me, and he did kind of touch on the thing where I was like, he farming the Dark Imps. I mean, I love that move right there. But I mean, other than that, I got nothing.
One more question for you. On a scale of 1 to awesome, how fun is pushing B to jump?
It's my favorite flag, I must say.
You were so good at it, man. Just like, I've watched some of the older, there was the older Wacky Flag tournament. I've watched some of the VODs from that, and just your execution, knowing exactly which squares to hop over, knowing exactly where to go to kind of exploit all the edges of the game that are opened up by it. It was really a treat to watch. So clear that you love it.
Yeah, it breaks the logic wide open.
Yeah, there's so much more you can do with it than I thought. And I knew going into commentating this that it was going to be like, I'm going to see some really crazy stuff, and you did not disappoint.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it was a good time.
Well, once again, GG is a really, really fantastic time. Obviously, the seed lined up for you and really rewarded that early plan, and just great execution after that. So yeah, congratulations.
All right, thanks. See you guys
GG.
in the next one.
Take care.
All right, thanks, y'all.
Meanwhile, we're back at Shiru at the Dwarf Castle.
Yeah, so Castle Evelyn, I think. Shiru is... picking up some items here, some experience. Did complete that top of the tower. Did not get anything meaningful. We knew going into it that there wasn't that many more key items to be found. Earth Crystal, Harp, Sand Ruby, and Spoon are the ones we haven't seen. You and I know where that Adamant Rock is, and I would think Shiru at this point has had that Luca key for a while and is committing to the Fade, and clearly does not have the same technical knowledge Jabrun has on how to accomplish Magnus without the Harp. So we are hunting here, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on here as well.
And I mean, I think that's perfectly understandable. Like we said in that conversation with Jabrun, it's his favorite wacky flag, and clearly just a lot of experience there. The amount of logic, the amount of things you can do in this flag that you just can't do otherwise, I think is really meaningful.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those flag sets where your knowledge of the game really comes in, where you can operate with that level of precision. There's not many people who can do that.
Yeah, so Shiru, obviously, there's absolutely no shame here in the execution, I think. It's just at this point, you've committed to a Fade, and I would not even be surprised to see if that Harp is hiding on the moon somewhere. I would not be surprised to see Shiru last item, the Adamant Rock, at this point, and I think that is... And obviously, we know that's a challenge, but that's free enterprise, right? You pick a Fade sometimes, you commit to them.
Yeah, that's the nature of a beast whenever it's a randomizer. Rando's gonna rando.
Yep. And again, we know we have our not all-seeing eye. There's still lots of surprises in the seed yet to be found. But we know that, quite frankly, we know what the right route would be, but Shiru is making those decisions from behind the controller, and it is just not easy. So we're going to see what interesting items she finds here, and then we'll see where she goes next. But folks, in the meantime, if you have been having a great time, first of all, follow our runners. Shiru and Jabrun are amazing free enterprise runners. They show up on our community races a lot, stalwarts of Friday night. And they deserve your attention, and they deserve you popping in and checking them out when they're not on our restream. Once again, you can join our Discord. There's going to be a link right there in the chat in a second. If you're watching this back on YouTube, you can always go down to the description, and you can find it there. We'd love to have you pop in and join us. If you are watching on YouTube, leave a comment. I read them all. Whenever I comment, I always go back and look and see what people have to say. I'm always curious. And yeah, just big thanks to Beauty and Rex and yourself, Demarcus. I think we're having a great time tonight.
Yes, and while I have a moment here, I do want to take a moment to point out that we are still taking signups for the upcoming tournament, the Royal Idolan Grand Prix. And the tournament will be starting shortly, around the 15th, the Ides of March.
That date is coming close, and we are really looking forward to seeing how runners handle those 3 flag sets. We would love to have you participate, folks. It would be a lot of fun.
And even if you want to just come and watch, I mean, you will be here. The team has done a very good job of putting things together, and the people who have tested these flag sets as well, getting the input from them. I mean, it really is a community effort to help put these events together.
Yeah, it's an incredible event team, an incredible group of volunteers, and just the community races where people have tried things out, runners doing them on their own. I highly recommend you check all them out as well. It is it's really incredible. We are very blessed with a welcoming, open community, folks, and can't recommend you join it enough. All right, Shiru looks to have finished out with Castle Eblin. We'll see what her next choice is. All right, heading. Probably Baron basement, I would think, at this point.
That's what I'm thinking. Probably looking at her levels, checking, make sure that she's at a good spot for it. It's got to be the basement.
Yeah, so she isn't in the basement. She has done the Fey March boss checks. Hasn't done... has had access to the moon for quite a while, but the only thing she's done up there is checked the character, which turned out to be the pink tail. Because we have K character on, and things get weird sometimes. Sometimes you open a treasure chest, well, not in this flag set, but sometimes you defeat a boss, and the reward is a character instead of a key item. I don't know. Did K value as well. Okay, thank you, Rex. Yeah, heading back in, I think, is going down to the basement. Down, down, down.
Yeah, let's see what boss will be awaiting us here. This could be a very tricky spot if the wrong boss shows up.
Absolutely. I think Shiru's got the levels for it. This is one of the tougher boss spots on the blue planet, of course, but I think Shiru's got this sorted out. Looks like it's a Baigen.
That has potential to be rude there, because it is a hard hitter.
Yeah, this could be really tough. So we'll see how Shiru handles it. Okay, considering some summons. Get Sylph. Okay.
I do like the use of the Sylph in this situation, because that is you a sustain and it does penetrate the walls without taking out too many of the arms. All right.
Yeah. Really interesting tactical decisions here. Taking down one of those arms, going for the body. Yeah, the loot hasn't been great. I think it's really helped. Like, obviously Jabrun, you're going to pull something for your hero when you do the forge, but Jabrun really hit on that axe, and I think that really opened up just power levels a lot. And even though Shiru's got some levels, the gear isn't quite there, and I think that's been a challenge.
And even then, also, like, just being able to pass that giant axe from Kane to Sid, like he did in that Z fight, that helps as well. So.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what the rewards are here. Obviously, we could find some pretty good treasure in these sorts of things, but again, it is going to be what is the path to either convince Shiru to head back to that sealed cave, or can she find a harp? Because I would think she's going to give us some music if she gets the opportunity.
Yeah, it's got to be that she believes that she has to take that boss out in the sealed cave. Otherwise, I mean, she probably should have made the move already. But that's why I really think that's what the thing is. What's going on there?
Yeah, I would think so. All right, still working on the bag in here. Got some berserks up, throwing out damage as fast as possible with the Sid and the Edge. Radiant taking a little nap. Yeah, this is tough with those power, with that, like the damage outputs. Tough.
Yeah. Because really, outside of that forge and a few other select spots, there really hasn't been a lot of power in this CF, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Like, with the amount of looting and the amount of key item checks that Shiru's had Zonks on, you would think that she would have found some pretty potent items, a couple swords for edge, maybe a white spear. It's just not happening. And that's, I think, a bit of a barrier. Like I said, I really do strongly think that Gigant Axe helped open up the seed. Really, everything was laid out for J. Brun. It was just a magic carpet, you know? And I don't think Shiru's made any notable mistakes other than maybe that early challenge of the CPU on the top of the tower. But just when everything you need is left and you go right, you're at a disadvantage. And that's all that's happening here. And we're seeing that now. This is a fight, unfortunately, where that right-hand turn did not give the gear she was looking for. And you're at a disadvantage, but you got to get through it. There's no options here. We know what the option is, but Shiru's got to be thinking this is the only option. I'm committed. I put my chips in the pot.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It just, you know, sometimes the decisions you make or the style that you play just does not work out for a seed.
That's right. Yeah, and again, J. Brun had made some very clear decisions early on. He had a plan, and the plan just happened to be exactly right. Just that's what the seed said. Main body of that Baigan goes down. We're probably going to see some arms explode here in a second, but Shiru will get through, and we will see what's hiding behind the barren basement.
Unless she can get them down in time, we'll see.
Nope, not yet. Oh, virus.
Let's see what this virus does. Done. No explosions.
40,000 experience. Pretty good modifier. 4 levels on the radio. Okay.
And she gets Edward for her troubles.
Without a spoon, that is just the worst. I mean, if you're not going to get
just there's no, just no.
Yeah, if you're not going to get one of the key items you're looking for, right? If you're not going to get one of those key items, you want a good combat item. You want something that's going to help you advance through the rest of the checks you need to take on.
Yeah, there's no extra power there, unfortunately.
There's no extra power for Edward. No sirree, Bob. Shiru, seeming to remember she can do some different hops to get out of here. We'll see what happens next. I think at this point it's Moon or back down to the basement.
She is going back underground. Where is she going? She's going to the sealed cave. Nope, going to Fame Arch.
Dark Imps and a Sparkle in the basement, if memory serves.
Yes. She's got to be making a play there, hoping for the key items that she needs.
Yeah, I have to think if we're lucky enough to get an interview with Shiru, we're going to find out that the fatal decision was I chose to fade sealed cave, which is, yeah, and like I think we all know, that's a really common choice. That is almost always in free enterprise when you look at the balance of time and odds to complete a check. It's one of the few that's almost objectively correct, right? Like,
yeah, that is one that I personally almost always fade unless I have to go there.
Yeah, if I'm feeling like I'm slow, I might gamble on it, you know. But I'm not particularly good at this game. I'm no J. Brun, I'm no Shiru, let's put it that way. And I'm certainly no I am Damar. So
no, you're right. You're not me, because I would be doing it even slower.
Don't underestimate my my slowness at this game. I love it, but I am not great. We're gonna see Shiru. Let's see who she takes on first, the king or the queen. Going for the queen. Let's see what the sparkle is. It could be anything. We haven't seen two of any. It is the second
Lunars.
First Lunars was the first boss at Dwarf Castle. And now we've got another one here. Shiru's going to throw out some darts, going to try to do as much damage as quickly as possible to get through this. Considering her options.
I mean, there's always an option to just jump with everybody as well. That will not trigger the wall and the viruses, so that is an option here.
We call that the Eddie Van Halen strategy. You got to jump. No? Okay.
Go ahead and jump.
Jump. Folks, we are trying to find stuff to keep talking about here. I don't think I've seen Shiru use push B to jump in combat at all. So I wonder again if this is a technical knowledge piece that maybe is missing. It's a flag set that changes the game in multiple ways. And yeah.
And speaking from experience, this is a flag set that is a flag that takes really like a good number of runs to get used to.
Exactly. Just an update from the race. Ike here is just finished in third at 126. So even though we saw Jay Brown with his 101, and boy, oh boy, I am bad because I forget who finished at 107. And I don't have the race room up. Antidale finished at 107. 126, obviously, a very respectable time. If you're not kind of taking that one specific route, you are going to have some challenges, and that's what we're seeing here. So we saw 2 pretty quick times, and we're seeing another couple times that are a little bit longer. So no shame on that at all. This is, like I said, it's all that you need is concentrated in one very specific kind of workflow, play flow, I guess. I say workflow too much at work. Sorry.
Oh, I get it. But yeah, one thing that push B to jump does is it tests your knowledge more than anything else.
Absolutely. You're going to get rewarded for knowing more of what the broader availability of strategies happens to be.
Yeah, where you get to just zero in and make those little pinpoint, precise little moves. So the more knowledge you have of this game, the more that push B to jump really works to your advantage.
Absolutely. You know, Shiru was able to get one of these frogs turned to, or one of these dragon lunars turned to frog. So we'll be able to get through this fight now. Is going to try to get her characters up to get a little bit more experience on them before that happens.
So we got a D-Lunar, and now we got a Captain Ginyu.
Yeah. he's trying real hard to cast fire. He's really trying out there, you know? It's not working too well, but gosh darn it, he's given the old college try. So those characters are coming up. And I would think we're going to see Shiru put the full court press on getting that frog taken care of.
Oh, yeah, going to be trying to swallow it up with Titan.
That's right. No, Rex, this isn't Jets of Time. It's not that frog. It's a slightly different one. This one doesn't have a sword. 45,000 experience, a few levels. We'll see if Shiru goes and takes a save. Gets the Twin Harp. Have to think she's going to chase that immediately, right?
Yes, that's got to be. That's what I believe. I believe that she thinks that this is what she needs to get there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And is taking a look. Now, we know she has not completed the Tower of Zot. But did she take... Is defeating the boss? She did take the boss there. So
yes, she did the second one, so she did do the Tower of Zot.
Does have the exit, yeah. So even though you skip the first boss, if you take the second, you complete the Tower of Zot, get the item, get both characters. That's fun. All right, we're off to get some. So, Beauty and Discovery in chat said no epic song involved about the frog, but you are wrong, sir, because we are about to. I would expect we are about to get some epic music once Shiru can get down into the bowels of Cave Magnus. So, folks, it could even be Frog's theme. I know for a fact it's in the pool. So, in case you were not aware, we have randomized those harps. There are 600-ish harp songs available in the 5.0 alpha. If it is Frog's theme, we are gonna mark this one. I think it is notable. So does know you can jump the trigger for the magnetic field, but I would think was not aware that you can avoid the actual boss trigger. Down we go. So we're gonna find out in a few moments here, folks, what that song is. And a big shout out to everyone who's contributed songs, especially our incredible compatriot Xenocat, who has arranged a very large percentage of them.
It's just another one of those things that the community just came together and put together fantastically.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I think that makes it so special is the love and things like this. So jump. So
Oh, she jumped.
maybe. Oh boy. Oh boy. Are we going to get the music? I don't think so. I think maybe Shiru just found out she can jump based on what she
Yeah,
found.
I think she did. Did a little leapfrog for us instead.
Probably feeling, let's say, nuts, I would think is kind of the feel. Shucks darn it.
Yeah, it's definitely got to be a move out of frustration there, and I don't blame her.
Yeah, no, well. Sometimes you learn through impact in this game. That's how my silly head learns. Just taking a second. She's in go mode. She's got the pass. She's probably going to get some.
Wise man once said that experience is the best teacher.
That's right. Oh, I wonder if we're seeing her pull up a guide to do a giant grind. Traditionally, this is where you'd set it up. We'll see in a second.
We will see shortly. Yep. Yeah. Pull up the menu. Nope.
Gonna heal up first. Yeah, that's what I thought.
We'll see very shortly what we're doing here.
No, decision's been made. Looks like we're heading back to my city to jump on the whale. I just want to point out, it's really gutsy of Shiru going to the giant. So I would think we are going to go get some levels, and then we're going to head to Mr. Zeromus and take down the traditional part of the Earthbound boss final fight. That final fight. Have you played Earthbound, Damar?
Yes, it has been a little while, but yeah, he's right there in front of Gigas. Gigas, yeah.
Yeah, and then you I don't want to do spoilers for this, 35-year-old game, folks. Well, 30-ish. 30 years old.
Would do this.
But the fight after the traditional battle against Pokey, it goes a little interesting. And I've always wondered how the heck you're supposed to know if you didn't have the Nintendo Power Guide that I had.
Luckily, that was part of the box set there.
Yeah.
That kind of was like, oh, wait, that's how I was supposed to do it. So imagine whenever I played it 20 years later, and I was playing it on the Wii, and I didn't have that guide, and I was like, wait, I forgot how to do this part.
There are some things I remember from my childhood very well. I remember how to defeat Gygus and Earthbound. I remember the code for the letter in Star Tropics, because I'm old, folks. So if you know what I'm talking about, put the code in chat. I want to see who knows it. I remember these things. Yeah. Looks like we are hunting for some Mac Giants. Shiru is going to pause. I don't think that's the right fight. So probably consulting the tables. So one of the things that this incredible community has done over the years is come up with a whole bunch of ways to grind. You know, there's sirens, and you can pop the sirens in multiple locations. There's the life glitch that we saw our friend Jbrun execute earlier. But there are also just a whole bunch of tables for how to find advantageous fights on the giant. And I think Shiru probably was considering one of those, and may have now decided, you know what? We're going to do something a little bit different. Puts her encounters on in a different location and is counting some steps. So the way that works is that will tell you what siege you're on. And then you can know kind of what you have to do to get an advantageous fight. Do I have to take 2 more fights? But this searcher fight looks pretty good. So the searcher fights are good because by taking a damage, the searcher will pull up an enemy, and if it's the enemy you want, a D machine if you're doing D machines, a Mac Giant if you're doing Mac Giants, if it pulls up the enemy you want, then you can defeat the enemy, and then you have all the time in the world to get your defensive spells back up, to get your hit points back up before you take the next one. By employing life glitches and employing the various experience point multipliers that Shiru has gained from checking key item spots, and by getting her 10 key items, she can get a whole whack of experience quite quickly and get ready for that fight with Zeromus that we know is waiting for her, likely on the other end of that pass.
And she was taking her time to set up blink on everyone, because these Mac Giants can be quite punchy. Not careful.
They at these levels with this amount of gear, they will knock you into next week. And I don't think our teams have put up next week's community flags, so we don't want to knock Shiru into the next race. Not quite yet. Yeah, Beauty points out that the manips are pretty amazing. They are. They're incredible. Even I can follow these manipulations, folks. And if I can do it, not well, and not every time, but if I can do it, then you can. So all of that stuff is available on our wiki, again, at FF4FE.com, and you can find a whole bunch more of it on our Discord. So pop in, take a look. You'll see there goes the first Mac Giant. Up goes a life, so that's going to be double experience times the multiplier that Shiru currently has, which I haven't been able to see, but must be at least 2.5 or 3 times by this point. So we'll probably see another attack. We're going to get another Mac Giant. There it is.
It's on the rinse and repeat.
That's right. So the Mac Giants are machines, which means that's the Mac part of it. So they take extra damage from lightning weapons, and then they are also giants, which means they take damage from axes, ogre, poison axe, quite heavily. So Kane and Sid are just a Mac Giant crushing machine.
Oh, I thought the Mac stood for Mac Daddy.
Well, I'll tell you what it doesn't stand for. These are not Apple products.
Oh no, that would just been iGiants then.
Return of the Mac. Wow. Yeah, Rex. There you go. We're showing our age, my friend. We're showing our age. So taking that break, getting those blinks back up, and then making sure that when you are ready to swing, it's the characters that are going to drop the Mac Giant before he can swing at you and take down too many of your blinks. So we know that Jbrun's won this. We know Jbrun's won this 40 minutes ago. That doesn't mean there's not a lot to learn here if you're someone who's new to Free Enterprise. Learning how to run a giant grind in certain flag sets is really important. It is the way that you can kind of get that advantage and dig a little bit deeper. You get an early Tela, get an early Fu, you can really unlock the potential to get a lot of fast early levels and power through a seed. So this, I think, is a really interesting thing to see, even if we know Shiru's did unfortunately wait too long to open up that Cave Magnus and get to this point.
Yeah, this is definitely a staple here for a long time. The Mac Giant D machine. And it's not quite as used as commonly today, as lately as it used to be, but still, it's just a great skill to learn.
No, absolutely. And what I think is also really interesting from that is one of the ways that Free Enterprise has changed in the last little while is the addition of more ways to get experience bonuses. And to an extent, that is going to take away the need for grinds in a lot of our flag sets. We're going to make those boss fights that usually you're experiencing a little bit later on that are already more valuable. We're going to make them a little bit more exponentially valuable. And I think from my perspective as a viewer and a commentator, I think that's a little advantageous because, let's be honest, sometimes grinds can be a little boring. But the technical ability to execute a grind at the right point and to get an experience point advantage where another runner may not be able to, and then make a seed's challenge level far more trivial, I think that from time to time, we are going to see that happen. And it's the runners who have that tool. It goes from being mandatory to being a really nice tool in the kit, right? And whenever something like that happens, some runners will let that skill atrophy, and some will keep it a little bit sharper and get an advantage when that seed kind of gives them, lines it up in that way. And I think that's really interesting. Rex asks, what setup do you need for a proper Mac Giant grind? So, great question. You either need a really good giant killing axe or a Thunderclaw. And you either need the blink, like we got going on here, or Zeus gauntlets, because that's resistant giants. And I think there might be one or two other items that resist giants. You want to make it so that the Mac Giant can't hurt you, but you can hurt the Mac Giant. Yeah, all sorts of grind opportunities, that's for sure. If you have an early Tela, you're going to see a D Machine grind, for example, where you're using Tela's weak spell to get his hit points, the D Machine's hit points down, take the D Machine down with a swing, pop a couple life potions onto it, heal up from its hit points based attack, and then rinse and repeat. So that's one that I've done. And you will basically have to manipulate the encounter table by finding out what siege you're on. And again, all the information for that is on our website. All right, so we're
some
seeing
other good weapons to use are the Ogre Axe, Poison Axe, Charm Claw, Charm Arrows.
Charm, that's the one I was forgetting. Somehow, 1.5 million. Pretty good.
Oh yeah, she's good to go now.
I would think we are going to see Shiru pop out of the giant pretty quickly and head straight for the Zeromus fight. And she remembers to turn encounters off. Don't ever forget that, folks. It can be very, very unpleasant if you're walking out a giant and trigger an encounter you're not expecting. I don't know that from experience. I've never done that 4 or 5 times in my life.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about there.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally have never done that. No.
No, why would you ever do that, right? All right, Shiru's gonna zip on right over, probably to Toroya and land the giant there. And head right in with that pass. There she goes. Folks, we just want to thank you. We know it's been a bit of time since Jabron finished up his fight, but just a big high five to you for sticking around if you're one of the people who's currently watching. If you are watching this on VOD and you got to this point, big high five to you as well. Hope you're having a great time, because I know we are.
And just big respect to just Shiru sticking it all out everything too as well. So
yeah, absolutely. It can be tough, you know. It can be tough when you are looking at that race room and you see other people have finished, or when you encounter something where you're like, "Oh, I made a mistake. There was a strategy that I could have taken very easily that I didn't." It can be easy to get discouraged. And one of the things, like I said, when you play, you learn. Doesn't matter if it's your first time or your 100th time. When you play, you're going to learn something. So playing through, I think, is very valuable. All right.
Even if you're a new player, I mean, don't let that discourage you from signing up for some of these community races. Don't let it discourage you from maybe trying to tournament out. I mean, there are opportunities to be had to learn. Like I said earlier, experience is the best teacher.
One of the very, very cool things that will happen to you if you're playing Free Enterprise on Twitch live is people from this community will just jump in to say hello. So if you want advice, just play. Someone will show up and give you some advice eventually. I've had a few people pop in when I've played, and it's always been a great time. I'm always appreciative of the experience that I get shared with me by some very generous and caring people. And you can always watch our runners, and you can watch other runners. There are lots and lots of great Free Enterprise community members out there who run on Twitch pretty much every night. You'll learn a lot. Unless someone's in a race, people are very generous with their time, with explaining their logic, explaining kind of what's going on in front of you. All right, it's Pokey. He's back. Which, again, just like in Earthbound, Pokey keeps coming back.
And oh wait, never mind. That was the wrong game. I was about to say, yeah, he's gonna say smell you later, but no, I forgot. That would be Gary, the Pokemon.
That's right. That's right. Oh man, another game I haven't played in a long time.
Oh no.
So we're seeing a little bit of a power difference with Shiru here versus Damar's fight. So Damar, of course, had the Gigantax, was able to unequip it from Kane, get it over to the glitched onto the Sid. Power on. But
yeah.
I would
wait, I did. J-Run.
Oh, geez, sorry. You know what? It's been a while. We'll clean that up in post. Clean it up in post, folks. No, okay.
He broke logic so much we forgot his name.
Broke logic so much it broke my brain. That's what it is.
Throw up the Starbell. Looking like we're going to be doing some hybrid strats here as well.
Yeah, and I think, unfortunately, for Shiru, the majority of the damage is going to have to come from the casters. Got lots of levels, got nuke, got wipe, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem.
Did you notice did she mess with her battle speed any? Did you notice that or not?
She kept it at 4, where I think it's been most of the seed. So she took a peek, and yeah, just preventively, I think has kept the battle speed a little bit lower for most of the seed. And honestly, like I said, with Fast ROM on, completely understandable. I struggled so much this time I ran a Fast ROM. And, you know, not expecting it, let me tell you. I was not expecting the struggles.
Oh, yeah.
I know how to beat Zeromus. No. Oh, no. Not that time.
Fast ROM,
you are one of those more aggressive style players, it does kind of keep you a little honest there. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, again, we're seeing here, we're using those reflex strats. We've got the Sid, very logical target for the Starveil, because he's not going to do too much else in this fight. So if he goes down, it's kind of fine, but he's got the hit point pool to live through a couple big bangs as well. Sid is useful in this specific situation. Someone can tell Elvin Sorrow I said that. It'll make him happy.
He also makes a nice little emergency healer in a pinch if you got the potions. So there's also that.
And there he goes. That was a, you know what? That was a much cleaner fight for Shiru on the Zeromus. And yeah, time with 151, that is difficult, I think. So GG's to Shiru, well done.
Sure.
Right. Just gonna do a second. We will get Shiru in. We will talk to her about this flag set and about this race. Got really curious.
Let's see what's going on here. Will she be joining us?
Yeah, I think she said she was in the race room. So we should see her in a second. Ba-ba-ba-ba. We will see her in a second. She was just grabbing some headphones. So yeah, I think just a really, really interesting seed. What a divergent experience. And this is
really contrast in playing styles when it comes to push B to jump here.
one of my favorite things in Free Enterprise is a flag set that encourages players to do different things.
Yes.
And we absolutely saw that tonight.
Yes, those kind of flags where you can just... Oh, we were joined by Shiru. GG, Shiru.
GG's.
GG's.
Shiru, I want to ask you a few questions about the seed. But before we do that, I think it's... Let's talk about Cave Magnus. Let's just talk with the elephant in the room. How did you feel when you jumped over the Dark Elf?
I guess that's what I get for labeling that Magnus complete, because I know there's another objective where, like, you just need to break the spell, and, like, in modes where you win the game when that happens, I like to differentiate. But then when I put complete, I thought, oh, well, that means I need to defeat the Dark Elf. No. But I was kind of hoping that if it was a Zonk item, that would increase the XP, but yeah, I didn't expect to get that as the last item.
Yeah, it was... It was definitely... it was interesting to watch because you took a very traditional overworld route, we thought, but... not Damar. See, this is how much my brain was broken by watching Jay Brun. Jay Brun took a very anti-traditional route. He went straight to Magnus and then pretty much right down... he went up Zot just for the characters, and then pretty much right down through the underground after getting that rat tail. Got the pan before he went down, and then, yeah, went through the underground through the hook route, so jumped over everything to get there, jumped over the bosses, and then followed the items that came out of that, and the adamant was in the sealed cave. So by jumping over the boss, didn't have to fight the boss there, and was in go mode very quickly. And then obviously, because all the stuff was there, you're doing great checks, but you're not hitting on it. So how was it feeling as you got kind of through the 60-minute mark? Where were you starting to get frustrated, or was there a change in your game plan at some point?
Well, the looming thought was, because I found Darkness Crystal, was, what if it's on the moon? And I don't think at the time I was even close to ready, because the equipment was, like, really bad. And even then, like, I think I had another snafu in the middle. It's like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and do the Sheila check without the pan. Oh, by the way, let's turn in the rat tail. Oh, that's the pan. That's nice. So... that, and honestly, it's been months since I've done a Mac Giant grind, so I had to, like, pause a moment and remind myself, how do I do this again? I didn't even know how to set it up. I had to think through it. But, yeah, I felt like there's no way I'm getting a good time from this, but the way the seed laid out, I mean, you pretty much had, like, everywhere you could go. Starting with the hook, starting with Magnus, finding... And then I found Darkness pretty early. It's like, well, geez, I could go just about anywhere. This could be a really lucky seed, or this could be a very unlucky seed. So... that's kind of how I felt about it. That's why I didn't feel too bad. It felt bad about Magnus, but the rest was... it just depends on your routing.
I don't think from our... Go ahead, Damar.
Yeah, this is just one of those situations where you have the push speed to jump, and you can be overwhelmed with the options. So I can understand that for sure.
I think we were talking with this on the stream. I don't think you made any real routing errors. I think that the fades you committed to are fades that are generally objectively correct ones. We did notice you struggled with that CPU at the top of tower. You went there pretty early. What was the thinking behind choosing that approach?
I was thinking, even with the sirens, I thought maybe I can do it. But I thought, okay, but if it doesn't work out, I should probably leave on the first death. Like, I'm not going to keep struggling with this. Even then, I was surprised, like, I still had to try the CPU again. It was too much for a party of 5. Like... and that's when I realized, oh wait, I could just use, like, Cure 2s, potions, try and support them. Uh-oh, did I disconnect?
No, you're good. I think that Rex had to leave, so...
okay, gotcha. But yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, is like, I hope I make it the second time, because I made it all this way. Oh, and that reminds me, 2 of the worst things is 2, gauntlets. 2 gauntlets, that was awful.
You had the worst gauntlet luck in this, and yeah, Jbrun just did not do those checks, and you just... I was like, oh, that's a terrible spot for Gauntlet Dwarf too. And I thought and I apologize, I didn't say this out loud, but I thought in my head, the only worst place is the super cannon room. So I may have mentally commentator cursed you, and I apologize.
Yeah, it was bad enough I saw, like, King Queen Eblin. It's like, oh, that's, like, the first boss for the inn. That's not great. I'd rather that be a harder position, but... I guess I should look at it this way. No wyverns, right? So... that's something.
We didn't see one at all on either side of the screen tonight. I do want to congratulate you on a well-executed Mac Giant grind. I know you had to pause for a moment. You stopped and started once there. But looking at your characters going, I need this experience, going to the Giant and getting it. And getting, let's just call it, a real big pile, 1.5 million, really sets you up for a really, really well-run Zeromus fight. And you were a lot faster through Zeromus than Jbrun was. He struggled. He had some challenges. So how did you find the grind? And then how do you find fast ROM fights against Zeromus?
So as a rule of thumb, like as it is, in just a standard fight, I set the battle speed to 3. with fast ROM, I try to set it to 4, but even then, that's still just a little faster than 3. Just there's something a little different about it. So I still kind of do that to try and offset it, and that's part of why I took such a long grind, is I wasn't sure if I'd be able to make it. So I could have taken, I was thinking just taking like 10 Mac Giants, thinking that might be enough, but then I thought, I really don't know if it's enough. I might as well shoot for it. Go double.
Makes sense to me. Anything you want to add, Damar?
No, not really. But thank you for showing us the run. And well, actually, I'll take that back because I saw you did the little jumping back and forth over the thing. I do want to point out that like I enjoyed that part whenever you jumping back and forth over the thing. That obviously had to be a reaction to the real learning that you only had to grab the key item though. But we appreciate you doing this run for us.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, and it really was really wide open, but it was still a lot of fun, even if I made that silly mistake.
Yeah, and I mean, mistakes happen, and it takes a certain amount of perseverance and grit to push through it and go. And like I said again live, I think you learned something, and that is always valuable. So GG's. I really enjoyed watching it, and thank you for running. And thank you for being one of the champs of Friday Night Restream. I see you on Restreamer a lot, and it's always a pleasure.
It's always a good time, and I never know what kind of seed I'm going to get.
That's right. Yeah, I think we're good. Damar, you're good?
Yep, that was good. GG Shiru.
All right. Let's take this home, folks. We've had you on for a little bit. So a big thanks to our runners tonight, Jay Brun and Shiru. We are so thrilled to have had them here. A gigantic thank as well to Rex, who had the dip, and did our tracking tonight, to Beauty and Discovery for putting together the restream, making sure that all of the stuff I'm saying and Damar is saying gets through to your ears. Big thanks to everybody who's hung around, watched everything, listened to the interview. And Damar, once again, a lot of pleasure. Had a great time tonight. I love commentating with you.
Same here. And thank y'all, everybody in this community who helps make all this possible. Our runners, our restream team, Beauty, Veritas, Rexel, great run tonight, everybody. And I just want to sit there and say that, y'all be like a certain wise person in this community says, be a force of good in this world, and y'all take care.
That's right. We're going to jump on over to, we're going to raid you over to SNG_PL4YS. So SNG plays, who's playing some PB2J as well. So we hope you have a great time with that. But again, thanks for hanging out, folks. We will catch you next time.
All right, good night.